Whoa! Hello, everybody. It's time once again to play Bookerman. Put on my booking cap and book something better than what we had in real life. Not really a catchphrase, but whatever. Now this one is pretty recent. In fact, I think it's the most recent one I'm doing. Other than CM Punk's Rampage debut, which I botched. I'll fucking admit that. Consider that video a botch. I'll leave it up as a testament to my bad booking. Because, everybody books bad, No one's going to book 100. But what I am going to book today, it's probably going to be a multiple part video because it's going to be very long. Because I'm going to put way more thought into it than WWE did. And that's the 2020... Who's 2020? Winner of the Golden Gooker Award from WrestleCrap for the worst thing in wrestling. Retribution. Now, Retribution. Holy shit. If you could talk about probably one of the biggest opportunities, one of the biggest, greatest ideas you could do, something so unique and different, and just completely shit the bed on it, this is a perfect fucking example. I mean, look at the talent you have here. Mustafa Ali, who's amazing in the ring, great on the mic, never had a problem on the mic. He has a legit bone to pick with WWE. Dominic Dijakovic, great wrestler. Not really so much on the mic, but he's okay. But you have Mustafa for that. Dio Madden, good enough in the ring. Getting better as we speak. From what I see, he's really good. Shane Foreign, perfect, really, not to say perfect, but a good ass wrestler. And Mia Yim was another one, was amazing. All these wrestlers are great. You got this gimmick of this idea, this group, that's been done before, but you could do it in such a different way. And it started out, in my opinion, I've seen a lot of people hate on the whole thing with the chainsaws and everything. I thought that was brilliant. Yeah, you probably should have used the actual people who are going to be in the faction, because it kind of makes it look really stupid continuity-wise, but that was a great way to do that debut. And I don't like to talk about the Raw debut where they just had a video of them firebombing some equipment that was tweeted out earlier today or whatever the fuck. Okay. And I think there are some other good moments. Mustafa Ali, revealed as the leader of Retribution, was brilliant. It's done perfectly. So well. And the thing is, this thing, you could have done so much with it. And all it really was, unless somebody comes out later and shoots on this, somebody says it was their idea, they booked it exactly like this, I cannot be convinced in any other way, shape, or form this was not just Vince McMahon making an anarchist group to shit on Antifa. Like, we've seen this motherfucker do parody bullshit all the time. Like, he treated the goddamn Truth Commission, a group based off of motherfucking apartheid, motherfucking white supremacist apartheid motherfuckers, with more fucking good booking than he did Retribution, to put that into perspective. So, let's get that straight. That's how I feel about it. That's, maybe you can call it bias speaking, but that's the way I see it. Because this dude has made no shortage of how he feels about, left-leaning anything. He hasn't really taken a piss. There's like one segment of him shitting on George Bush compared to him shitting all over Bill Clinton in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole segment of skits and shit. Anyway, never mind that. But that's my point. I feel like that's why this was created. Because I don't think for a second they put a lot of thought into it. Other than, let's just make these guys goofy jobbers and embarrass them. Not the wrestlers, Antifa and anti-fascism. No, I wouldn't even be surprised if motherfucking... No, never mind. Fuck that shit. Anyway, this whole thing could have been booked so much better. Because it was booked so bad, you didn't even give us a match at Mania with any of the members. How bad is that? Even as much as you shit the bed with this, you could have made Mustafa Ali versus Dominic Dijakovic. That would have been 1,000 times better than Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman in the cage. And I like that match, but come the fuck off. You could have put that there, and you had time on the card to put an extra match too. Even if you gave them 7 minutes, those dudes would have put on a great show. But here we are. So here's how I'm going to do it. And this is going to be a very long video. It's probably going to be several parts. So I'm just going to try to book at least this from their debut to Survivor Series. And if I go farther, hopefully I do. Because I'm going to try to book it. Well, you'll see. It's like I'm going to have to kind of explain almost everything. Because this is very detailed. So let's start out with the beginning. In the beginning, it's going to be very similar to how it began with the whole tweet about there being a new faction on Raw. However, it's going to be very different from how it was done. We're going to have a segment. In the ring is going to be Dominic Dijakovic in his ring gear, Shane Thorne in his ring gear, and Dio Madden wearing some ring gear. He, whatever, we haven't really seen his ring gear outside of Retribution, but whatever he would have, They're in the ring. We have the W Performance Center. There'll be I think the people trading crowd around because this is in the pandemic era. Byron Saxton comes to the ring and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, as announced on Twitter earlier today, we have a new group of wrestlers here. These group right here is going to be, they look here to do some dominance here in the WWE, and they have all banded together, and they are known as the American Superstar Squadron." And he says this with a straight face. And Dominic Dijakovic grabs the mic from his hand and he goes, "Are you serious right now? Oh, really? Are you testing me? I am not in the mood to be tested." And Byron looks very confused. He doesn't understand what's going on. He goes, "American Superstar Squadron." And Byron goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Ass. You named us ass." He goes, "This is ridiculous." He goes, I have been in this company for, I believe it's 3 years. 3 years. I gave Luke Harper a great match on WrestleMania weekend. And these fans still remember. They still come to me and talk about it. I gave Keith Lee the best matches he's ever had. We had a whole series on NXT that had the whole world talking. And now I come to Raw, and the best you can hand me is ass. You literally call this ass. And then Dio gets the mic. He gets the mic and goes, "No." He goes, No. You ain't rid of me, are you, Byron? Because I got some problems with you already. You tried to take my job. I used to sit in that commentary booth. I was better than you without even needing that much training. I've been good since day one, and you've been crap since day one, and you've always kept getting these jobs. Are you trying to joke on us right now? I'm not in the mood for this. This is ridiculous. We deserve better than this. He goes, "I stood up. I got my ass beat by Brock Lesnar to protect a stupid, pathetic, has-been legend," he does the quote air quotations, "from getting his basically killed on live TV, basically preventing WWE from a huge lawsuit, and my reward is to be put in a group called ass by a living ass like you." And then, finally, Shane Thorne asks for he gets back and goes, "Oh, guys, you know what? You got every reason to be mad, but I'm more mad than all of you. I'm not even American. What is this crap? Why are we the American Superstar? I'm Australian." And Byron goes, "Guys, no, this was not the plan. This is not. This isn't a joke. This is what we're gonna. And Byron kind of starts talking in a low voice, like, "Guys, what are you doing? This isn't a script." No, this is not a script. He goes, "Guys, what are you doing? Go along with it." I need to say script because I don't like that. But he goes, "What are you doing? You just go along with it. Just go along with it. Just play with it. Just play. Just sell it." And just play it. And then all three of them look at each other and they go, and then Dominic gets somebody and goes, "No, we've had enough of this crap. We've had enough of you. We are better than ass. We are better than WWE, and we are sure as hell better than Monday Night Raw." And they start beating the crap out of Byron Saxton. This is their debut. Just have them beat the piss out of Byron Saxton and leave. Because this does sound like something WWE would do. They'd make a trio. They'd give them a dumbass fucking name. And they would just present this in a way that it's being treated as it's real, but it's not real. But it's presenting the idea of these wrestlers being angry at the system for failing them. Now, to continue on this story, we don't just contain this to Raw. We're going to push this all around. Except NXT. I don't want them to go to NXT simply because, first of all, they came from NXT, but also because I just wanted NXT to kind of be self-contained at this point. Kind of separated from Raw SmackDown, just for the time being. So they go to SmackDown. And this is the week of Extreme Rules. So Extreme Rules that Sunday. So they put a beat down on the first match is Morrison and Miz versus the team, the New Day, Kofi and Xavier, in a tag title match. They beat down everybody in this match, taking them out. Just beating the shit out of them. No, even though there's only 3 of them, there's 4 of them. They get Xavier from the apron, they give him like a double team powerbomb onto the floor while Kofi's in the ring. That causes a DQ. Kofi runs at him. He does that dive he does, but they catch him. They drop him face first on the apron, and they get Morrison and Miz. They just kind of put the boots to him. And they also debut a move, the move they've done in real life, the double choke bomb. Dio Madden, and Tom and Dijakovic do this to Morrison, and then they do another move where Dio, he gets Miz. He chokes Samson in the quarterback first, then he grabs him from the corner, puts him on the shoulder like he's going to do an attitude adjustment or an F5, but instead he kind of froze him like an attitude adjustment onto the Dijakovic, who then grabs him and does the beat your eyes. Because that would look really cool. They just decimate these guys without saying a word. Later in the show, there's a tag team match scheduled with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro in the main event against Strowman and Otis, who's a Monday Baby for Greece at this point. Strowman comes out first and goes, "You know, I'm not scared of you guys. I know you're in the back. Dijakovic, Thorne." He goes, "Dio, how about you have the guts to show your face? If you got any balls at all, fight me. I'm ready for you. You get these hands." And then they appear on the stage. And they appear, on the Titantron. Oh, I should point out, when they attack everybody in the opening match, they're not dressed at the ring anymore. They're wearing camouflage pants, but they're wearing, instead of wearing black, I like black, but in this case, they're wearing very bright colors. Dijakovic wears like a very bright purple shirt. Dio Man wears a bright orange, and Shane Thorne wears a bright green. It's the reason for this. Basically, the idea that they're gonna pop off your shirt or whatever. Anyway, he calls them out, and they get on the screen, and Dijakovic goes, he goes, "Why would we, we do what we want on our own time. We have our own purpose. We have our own ways. We don't answer to you, Braun, or anybody in WWE." And he goes, and then Braun starts going, "You're just a bunch of cowards," And they go, "Besides," they go out and somebody goes, "Besides," or he gets in the camera and goes, "Besides, why would we do the dirty work for Otis anyway?" Just kind of set on that seat of dissension in Braun's head, At this point, he's about to have the match I hate, but the match with for Wyatt that he had. What's it called? It was a swamp fight or whatever. I hate that match. But anyway, so he's making him more paranoid though. It goes with the story, alright? So anyway, nothing really happens to the match, the match happens, yada yada yada. And the New Day actually lose tag team titles just like real life 2 days later. They actually have their ribs taped up after this beatdown they got. So they really sell it, and they kind of start blaming Retribution for this loss. So it's kind of beginning. At the pay-per-view, in the middle of the show, they come out, and they just randomly drag out with them. We see Dio holding on his shoulders. We saw all Freedom walking out on their shoulders, all holding one member of Lucha House Party. So Dio has Kalisto, Shane Thorne has Gran Vitalik, and Dominic has Lince Dorado, and they just kind of put them a pile in the ring and go, these are the best you got. And then they go back and says, you took these three great luchadors and you made them into a joke that nobody finds funny. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is why we exist. And then he says, and this is why we will be the retribution for everything WWE's ever done. And they're going to get their name. So after this is where I'm about to start playing it out. So they don't appear on every show like clockwork. Like it's spread out a little bit. They appear at least once a week on a Raw or SmackDown. Basically randomly attacking anybody who gets in their way. However, there are several incidents I want to mention. First of all, Ricochet. One time he has a scheduled match with Matt Riddle. It's kind of a respect match. They have a pretty good match. And Ricochet gets the win. Afterward, they shake hands, and out comes Retribution. They beat the shit out of him. Next week, Ricochet calls them out on Raw. They don't come out this week. But there's a message on the screen, "We'll see you next week." And they do attack next week. They attack Ricochet, beat his ass. Matt Riddle also gets a beating because he tries to interfere in this beating. Started to build these feuds around them. There's also where, in this reality, Kairi Sane, I believe she left in July last year. So instead, we're just gonna have her appear one last time. If we have to take the match, we'll tape it in the story, In August, she appears and she says, it's 2 weeks before SummerSlam. And she has a match with Mia Yim, who we're told is making her Raw debut tonight. And she says, she gets the mic and she says, I just want to say, I really love being here in WWE, but I have to take some time off. I don't know when I'll be back, but I know I'll be back one day. But I want to thank all the fans who've been here for me. I've had a great career. Been an NXT champion. I've been Women's Tag Team Champion. And thank you so much for everything. Mia Yim, though, gets the mic and says, you know, this is my Raw debut tonight. This is my debut on the main roster. And I feel like, no disrespect, Kyrie, but you're taking all the spotlight away from me. And I'm going to beat you in your last match here. I'm going to show everybody why they should be paying attention to me. So Kyrie's a little put off by that. But in the end, Mia Yim wins with the Protect Your Neck. And then after the match, she gets out of the ring seemingly, but Kyrie Sane gets up. And she's kind of like soaking in the moment, even though she's lost. And she's holding the thing out of nowhere. She gets hit in the back by Mia Yim with a chair. Now, storyline-wise, let's just say Asuka is not here tonight. She had to go take care of family business or something for the time being. So, you could, I guess, make Sasha and Bayley take her out earlier than that or something to kind of build up that story, whatever. Anyway, because the only role models, that was, you know, her and Asuka, that was kind of a cool story. That was a very cool story. I liked it. But whatever you want to do there, you know, you choose. Choose your own adventure. But anyway, she gets the steel chair and Pillmanizes Kairi Sane's neck. And the commentators just told us, like, oh, what did she do? And Kairi Sane was already leaving. Why would she do this? And you might have someone, a heel commentator, say, probably like, I don't think, was Corey Graves wrong? I can't fucking remember. I know Byron was, but he wouldn't like Retribution, so he wouldn't like this part. But anyway, you know. I'd have Michael Cole say, like, well, she's trying to make a statement, but this is the wrong way to go about it or something. As she's leaving, though, all of a sudden, all the members of Retribution stand on the ramp in front of her with arms crossed, and she looks at them. And then they move out of her way, and they go like this. And she nods with them. And then they walk behind her as she goes to the back. Just a signal sent to the world. And the last big thing they do before SummerSlam. Before SummerSlam, instead of the segment where they come out and they want to fight The Fiend and Braun Strowman, because I didn't like that. No Vince, and this wasn't the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome they used at SmackDown. And in the first segment, The Fiend and Braun are there. And they're having a little face. But all of a sudden, all the pictures on the Thunderdome go out. Michael Cole turns around, is this technical difficulty? What's going on here? What is happening? And then, all of a sudden, on each screen, appears a picture of Retribution. Dijakovic on one side, Shane Thorne, and on the other side, Dio Maddin. Shane Thorne and Mia Yim will be split on two because there's actually four of them now. So, they look and they say, we just want to tell everybody this Sunday, we're making an open challenge to the world to show everybody how much better we are than everybody here in WWE. Get your free best guys. Because we have our free best and we'll show you the Retribution you see. And that's all, you know, just simple. Yeah, we're setting up a match. Maybe it feels a bit too soon, but I feel like you kind of have to do some kind of match at some point with them. And I feel like SummerSlam's the best time. So in the middle of the SummerSlam, they come out. And they're still wearing the bright colors. And at some point I have them cut a promo where they say, we wear these colors to show that we should always have been standing out. We should have always been brighten up your TV screens, but we weren't given the chance. We were made to be blab, colorless blobs, you know, some really cool shit like that, as you will. Make it sound better, probably I made it sound. But anyway, they come out, they cut the promo saying how they're ready, they'll take anybody's ass. Out comes Ricochet, Matt Riddle, who at this point, both of them have been taken out of injury after their beat down a few weeks earlier, and Mustafa Ali. They teased a little first, like, well, we got us a partner, but yeah, Mustafa Ali. So the match is kind of going its regular way. And also Dana Brooke comes out with him to watch me. So the match is going its way as it goes. And pretty much Retribution's controlling, but Ricochet starts coming back. And he gets Shane Thorne with a Enziguri. And he falls on his face and he starts crawling towards Mustafa Ali. He's trying to reach. All of a sudden Mustafa Ali puts out his hand. All of a sudden he retracts it. He turns around and he jumps down off the turnbuckle. And then the camera's right on his face. Just get this beautiful visual of Ricochet reaching over, and he's right near the turnbuckle. He's like, his look on his face, like he's so shocked and sad, and an evil smile on Mustafa Ali's face. And he turns and he shows Ricochet a smile, and Ricochet has a shocked look on his face. And then he basically gets dragged. Shane Thorne has tagged Dio Maddin. He gets dragged back by Dio Maddin. Dio Maddin chokeslams him in the turnbuckle and have Ricochet to sell it good, like flip. Ricochet's great at fucking selling. He's amazing at selling. And have him take the double choke bomb and the finisher to feast your eyes. And then, after the match, Mustafa Ali gets in the ring. And he smiles. And he gets a mic. He has a mic in his hand and says, good work, guys. It's exactly like I planned. And And the other comes and goes, oh my God, Mustafa Ali's behind Retribution. And he gets in the ring and he starts slapping Ricochet's face 3 times. He goes, you fool! You really thought being a superhero would get you anywhere in this wretched hellhole? He goes, I'm not done. We're gonna beat that. We're gonna beat you so bad you're never gonna come back. And then he's about to put the boots to Ricochet. But Matt Riddle, at this point he was on the ground, he gets back in the ring. He can't really do much, but he covers his body over Ricochet trying to protect him. And Mustafa Ali just collapses and goes, a lot of men want to die today. And he starts putting the boots to him. Dana Brooke tries to get inside, but she gets shoved. She gets thrown into the barricade by Mia Yim, so she can't interfere. Mia Yim also gets in the ring. They put the boots to Matt Riddle. They give him the choke bomb, and then just kind of roll him out of the ring. They don't do a whole lot of them. But, to our poor Ricochet, oof, this is going to be valuable. He gets stomped on by him. He takes a choke bomb again. He takes a feature rise again. And then Mustafa Ali says, put him up on the turnbuckle. And they put him, all 3 of them, put him up there. And he gets on top, and he goes, get the step. And they get the steel step. They put it down, and he gets a C4 onto the steel step. And because this would look awesome. He did this before to Buddy Murphy, so he could do this. And this takes out Ricochet for a little while, too, in case you're wondering. And basically, over the next month, they basically do some similar stuff. You know, I don't want to play on every promo, but, you know, basically cutting these promos about how they hate the wretchedness of WWE and how they start saying how WWE is a disease, a sickness. And that might be a little close to home during the pandemic, but, I mean, I think it fits because of their whole mantra, their whole motto, if you will. They're against WWE, and they're talking about it more and more. And they attack people. At one point, John Morrison gets taken out with a pile driver onto the exposed floor. So we're told he has a broken neck. Although, you know, he returns like 2 weeks later, so we're just told that. Whatever. And so, anyway, the other big thing happens on Raw. There was one time at Raw, and they actually go out the Thunderdome. There's some seats, and they all sit at the Thunderdome, and they just stay there for half the show. And then during Asuka's match with Nia Jax, she looks at Mia Yim. You can tell she wants to come and whoop her ass because of what she did to Kairi Sane. But she starts fighting Nia Jax. But then I don't know where she goes outside the ring at one point when they're fighting. And Mia Yim just grabs her by the throat like this against the guardrail. And that's an automatic DQ. Then Nia Jax pushes her against the guardrail. So she gets her ass beaten. And Shayna starts beating her too. This leads to Asuka making a challenge to Mia Yim for a match at Clash of Champions for the Raw Women's Championship. She's like, if you got the guts, come face me in a cage. In a steel cage. Keep Retribution out. And that's what we do. Also, at the Night of Champions, Morrison has miraculously recovered from his broken neck. Well, make Matt Riddle do it. Yeah, make Matt Riddle take the broken neck like the next night of Raw after SummerSlam. He tries to get revenge and he gets the broken neck. Keep that broken neck. Or not Jeff Hardy because he has a lot of matches because he beat Jeff Hardy. But anyway, Miz and Morrison have a tag title match. Before the tag team title match, it's a triple threat with Cesaro and Shinsuke and Lucha House Party. And then Miz says, you know, everybody's talking about Retribution. Yeah, they heard us before, but I feel like they're misunderstood. I want to give them the chance, an opportunity. Tomorrow on Raw, not Raw, he's on SmackDown. How about Miz TV? How about you guys show up on SmackDown on Miz TV, and I will give you the chance to talk to the world and tell them how you really feel. Till you have a chance, and I promise you, nothing bad will happen to you. It's a impasse. Not impasse, a parlay. A parlay, if you will. Let us have this moment of peace, and I'll give you a mic. You can say whatever you want. So, anyways, in the cage match between Yim and Asuka, the finish is that Asuka has the Asuka lock on Mia Yim, and she's trying to reach for the cage, and she finally able to grab the cage, and she is able to push Asuka's head into the cage one time. Asuka throws the inside 2 times, but she doesn't break the grip. Finally, the third time, Asuka breaks her grip. And then after this, Mia Yim is able to get outside the door, winning the Raw Women's title. It's a competitive match. She does hold her own against Asuka. But I feel like that's a creative finish, and I don't think I've ever seen it in a cage match. Or actually, what I would do is have her do it against the door so that Asuka falls and she kind of falls up the door. She can flip, but hopefully, I don't think there's a way to do it like her. So I would make it, she gets the door and she kind of rolls out of the cage. She crawls out, but slowly. So she has the Raw Women's Championship now. And so the next night on Raw, we get a recreation of one of the greatest moments in history, where Mia Yim says, you know, this Raw Women's Championship, it means a lot to Asuka. It means a lot to all these women here on Raw. But to me, it's just another trinket that WWE tries to hand you to make you feel good when they take away your soul. When they pay you for everything you are. And she says, so I have nothing to do with it. And she throws it in the trash. And then after that, we get a tournament created for the Raw Women's title, you know, whatever. And then on SmackDown, we have the moment Miz TV, where we're kind of booking this whole week here. In the Miz TV, we get basically a pretty big mission statement here from Mustafa Ali. This is why you could never do this at Gorilla Beat. Where he says, now Miz, you promised me I would get my chance to speak, and I'm going to speak right now to the world. I want the world to pay attention. He goes, I've seen your messages, your tweets, I've read your DMs, I've seen your YouTube videos, I've seen everything you've had to say. You all think we're the bad guys, we're villains, we're anarchists, that we're criminals. And he goes, that's kind of funny, because look where we are. Because we're in a company built by scoundrels and scumbags and sleazy, horrible people. He goes, you think the McMahons are good people? He points at me and he's like, you think they're good people because they hired you and gave you an opportunity? Give me a break. He's like, do you know how WWE became the #1 wrestling company in the world today? It wasn't through hard work or blood, sweat, and tears. It was through manipulation, blackmail, deceit, all kinds of crimes you can only imagine. Vince McMahon is the biggest villain there is. But we are treated like we are scum just for daring to go outside the mold of what was given to us. That we should be eternally grateful for being handed an opportunity, a terrible opportunity. He says, all you gotta do is Google to see how many times this company's covered up crimes of people. And I'm not supposed to say that, am I? No. You know, if we didn't have control right now, we hadn't personally made sure that we have our guy, or should I say me, because I know how to set these things up, keeping this mic going, we'd probably be getting cut off right now. Because we're saying some harsh truths. But that's all Retribution's ever been about. Harsh truths, reality, and getting what we deserve. This company has fed us trash. They expected us to be like treasure. Just like this world has treated so many. He goes, and this right here is going to be the retribution for all the sins of WWE. That's basically their vicious statement at this point. So, after that, they don't attack Miz anymore. So they actually leave like the parlay. They actually keep their word that. So they kind of keep doing their thing. And then what happens is we get the draft night. Now this is like October or something. And Adam Pearce comes out and he says, Raw is going to draft Retribution. He goes, it's our hope that Retribution being drafted the Raw and given an opportunity will show them that we actually care about them. And we want them to stop, basically doing what they're fucking doing, which is beating the shit out of everybody left and right. Anyway, later in the show, at the end of SmackDown, we see Adam Pearce beat dead. He's on the floor. He's just dead. And Retribution standing over him. So the lady going, you really think we wanted to be your employees? You think we wanted to be handed your little trinkets? We already told you we're done with that. So, after this, Retribution is basically, they're already fired. Like, they're like super fired. Like, basically, the story goes here that there is criminal charges being pressed against Retribution. Now, to keep it kayfabe, we'll treat it like they're not on TV at all. But what will happen around this time is W's Twitter will be hacked. Their Facebook will be hacked. There'll be strange messages, but even the W Network at the time, which still exists and isn't Peacock yet, will have a problem with glitches. And Michael Cole will appear on YouTube and go, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We're trying to get the network. We're experiencing some trouble. We believe it may have be from some disgruntled ex-employees. He goes, I'm not allowed to say which ones, but I think you know who I'm talking about. So eventually, this whole situation is sorted out. It's just a day or two where the network is down in the story. It's decided that at Survivor Series there will be a match where if Retribution wins, all the criminal charges are dropped, and they get themselves an open contract to decide a match they want to make. But if they lose against a team, they're done. They're finished. And it's a 4-on-4 elimination match. The 4 male members of Retribution. Now, who are their opponents going to be? Well, basically, the guys they've been feuding with already. Ricochet, Matt Riddle, and The New Day. And, spoiler alert, Retribution wins. Meaning, they now have a contract for anything they want. Which is where I'm at the end of the video now, because I see it's going kind of long. So that's part 1 of this booking. I'm going to continue sometime, hopefully soon, maybe like later this week. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.